記録を読み返すと、あれは19世紀の終わり、厳しい冬のことだった。事件は霧深い深夜のロンドンの街路をひた走る乗り合い馬車の中で起こった。馬車には被害者と容疑者の両名のみ、複数の人間がその事件を目撃した。一体誰が想像しただろうか、この単純極まりない事件があのような恐ろしい結末を迎えることになろうとは。我が友シャーロック・ホームズはあの事件を振り返ってこう言った。思えばあの事件こそは序曲だったのかもしれないね。忘れがたきあの日本人留学生と演じた長い競争曲の始まりだ。
I like the anime style of the... Oh look, it's us!
すごい。これって本当に駅なのでしょうか？
駅にせよ違うにせよ、これほどの建造物は見たことがございませんね。
蒸気機関車があんなにたくさん。何なんだこの国は。
Wow, it looks so nice. The style of anime. Brian's Coco, the best in London.
なんだか夢みたいです。
これが大英帝国のデータ。
どう？あんたたち。
はい。
Oh no.
乗りなよ。
If I'm gonna be involved in a murder again, I'm so done.
それでは官庁街の高等法院へお願いします。
いいとも。あんたたち最近流行りの留学生ってやつかい？そうかい。それなら楽しんでいってくれよな。ようこそ世界の中心、大英帝国の帝都ロンドンへ。
Nice. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? 18 February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. The Lord Chief's office is in Big Ben. But okay, you know what? Before we do all of this, hey, hi, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on to stay up to date on all my latest videos. I didn't manage to do my intro in the beginning because when I press load game, it automatically started the whole series. So yeah, it's episode 3, it's chapter 3 now. Chapter 2, if you recall, it was to deal with Kazuma's death on SS Buria as we were making our way to London. We've got that settled. If you are not sure what happened in the previous in that whole chapter, you can check my previous videos. But yeah, so now we're in London. We're gonna like replace Kazuma as like the lawyer and assistant duo to learn more about the London law. So let's go. What an incredible place! It's Big Ben, isn't it? It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There's some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this is quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Certainly unfamiliar. That's true. I think since the Middle Ages, the Feudal Ages, in fact, they've had stone already. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruto-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. but Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we're here in a different capacity, as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I don't think that's how that works though, right? I hope I'm up to scratch. She's only been learning for a month. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Wow, what an imposing man. Oh, I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan? Click, click. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Male Strongheart, wow. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Miss Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryonosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Miss Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yeah, thank you. What an imposing man. Present! My armband. Here's my armband. Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. It requires something in the region of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? This is the item warrant, 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's leave it for now. That whole conversation took up at least the time you mentioned. Ooh, I can examine around. Let's examine around. Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room. I believe they're suits of armor. Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding shrine gates. No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know? And they roam around the middle of the night. Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Mrs. Sato? This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. What kind of book is that? If you're ever unsure, just ask. But she get that incredible tone. Yeah, I want to know. Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling. And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. Yes, very bad dream. They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial system of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland. What about Russia? Why do you ask? I was wondering about asking Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think? I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned. Look at the gears. Is this some kind of clock? Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. But those gears are larger than anything you'll find on a steam locomotive even. It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? Lord Chief Justice, I mean. Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they? I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size. I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. It's actually something quite soothing about their precise rhythm. Indeed. This chair. This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble. Looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Miss Naruhodo. Feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here. The books are made of stone. I know, that's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure. Alright, I think we've had to look around, so let's go back and converse. Law student! Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour? I think you're expecting a student law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before you even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news. Of the news? Sorry, tone. Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. You tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. This is it then. The moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, sir, I was wondering if perhaps you'd consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Oh boy. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Naruhodo, I can ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? What are you gonna say? Oops. Sorry, hold on. I need to adjust my wires a bit. Okay. If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's me. Sir, it's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And Kazuma helped me, and I was accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burial. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here in this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in a good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes. You say you intended to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yeah, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expressions alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you your chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Nice. What's this test though? So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an app trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? Oh, shoot. How do I get myself to these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. It's easy to say, but I should mention, just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law? We can't possibly agree to such a test. We'd be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? I can't. There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court? If I lose, I'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Sogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? I'll just go back to Japan. What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I won't do it! I'll do it. Alright then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it! I can't get the words out! 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to East tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry, Mr. Sato, but what could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Mr. Sato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, particularly the day that they stand in the dock, they're the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. Sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mrs. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there's only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. Boy, boy, really his only hope? Why can't you do it? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. Huh. The Old Bailey. Am I gonna do it? If we're gonna do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Well, let's leave. London's highest criminal court of illustrious past, the Old Bailey. Right. February, 9:45 a.m. It looks the same except they're wearing British uniforms. Oh, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. Never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. When was paper money a main currency? No, I'm assuming this is they say at the start of the 19th century, was it? 20th century. 20th century? Huh. Wasn't that paper currency by now? Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Like a tin can. Yeah, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at the moment. Top of the morning to you, madam. Sir. What the frick? What are yous doing following me here? Shit. Things are what? Fairly desperate? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yeah. Ah, Japan is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. He reminds me of Willy Wonka. Tis grand, tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Huh? A thousand guineas? Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? Ting. Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough weather to buy the city of London two or three times over. My accent's all over the place. I'm trying. Could that bunch of rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Is he the defendant or the accuser? Ow, that hit me in the eye! Guinea in the eye. Don't guess me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. Oh, so now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I don't know if I trust this guy. This guy seems kind of like... I kind of feel like I'm defending the wrong guy. Not the wrong guy, a bad guy. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Question Blazes, you not know who I am. Me, one of London's biggest names. No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the center is another beautiful park. Sorry, park? What? It is called my Gilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter of the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce yourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students, on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yeah, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it! That's the only explanation. Well? Well, not at all. Not at all. Although, it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did you just say Reaper? Shinigami? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. I'm having a mixture of Irish and Scottish accents right now, I think. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barak Van Zeeks? Must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. I'll tell you, showed your face here. I've made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I've decided I've had to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, he's the greatest chocolatier. Does he look like Willy Wonka? I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Maybe he's a good guy after all, I don't know. Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yeah, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. You have to sit. I'll be right there. Jeez. I think it's gonna be fun. What's happening then? First trial in British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this. You're probably wondering how I got here. It's like that moment, you know. Fancy schmancy. Wow. That must be hot. Sitting there with like 2 flames here. But then again, the UK is kind of cold, isn't it? Oh, it's 5 judges. 6 judges. That's not right. So this is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court of Japan. Oh god, I'm gonna have to think of 6 voices. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I see something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. What? Oh, he's nervous. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. What? Oh, hello. Looks like Father Christmas. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Prosecution's fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. This guy reminds me of... I can't remember the guy's name, but in like the original trilogy, Phoenix Wright, there was the guy at the end. Remember that guy? He was just like a vampire as well. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. Nipponese? They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ah, cold shivers ran down my spine, all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, it is a grand thing to give opportunities to young. Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded, what a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, maybe go and play in McGilded Park. Seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. It's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way of words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince him to defend him. Suspicious. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded. A most laudable sentiment. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Oh no. Yes, my lord. If the task is ready to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ah, any criminal's hero soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Glug glug, alcoholic. I feel chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
Ah, Miss Naruhodo, these people are the jury, yeah. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right. I've only ever read about it.
But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. I didn't know that about the British court. I'm not sure about the courts in my country. I think our courts are based on the decision of the judge, like the Japanese courts. I'm not sure actually. But then again, we were colonized by the British, so we should be following the same legal system as the British Empire. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Find it out.
The judge passes sentences according to the law, but the jury determines guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Zieks? My lord? It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years had passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. You must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 2 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Sorry, thrice? Thrice? 3 times? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired was said to be almost indestructible. Why is he thrice-fired then? Damn, he got stabbed. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. The dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. Autopsy report has been entered into court. Okay. Photograph, okay. Partly obscured from view by an old crooked hat. Okay. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by policemen who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilden's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves has been entered into court records. Okay, bloodstains on the right. I feel like that's important. How did I get into this? Yeah. That would have been a weird angle to stab someone. Actually, how would that work? Okay, see, because the blood on the hand is on the inside of the hand, where naturally you have a dagger, right? But if you look at the handle, there's no blood on the handle. So it doesn't seem to me like that blood could have gotten there. But then again, it's a game, so... Back into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? I did it. No, he didn't. Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, but whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton, so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I've never laid eyes on before in my life. If he's so rich, why would he need to ride an omnibus? Doesn't he have his own carriage? Now I ask you is, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to have a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worried about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got into the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. From where? Who? In the bus? Doesn't that mean there's more than 2 people in the bus then? Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime has been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Oh, you poor freezing thing. Alright, witnesses, your names and occupations. Okay, you know what? I think we'll leave this episode here. Out of the frying pan, into the fire, into this new case. They seems to be quite compelling as well. But then again, in the first case that we did, the witnesses did lie. So I'm curious to find out what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do. But for now, we'll leave this episode here. In the next episode, we'll find out just how deep this rabbit hole goes. I'm pretty sure this guy's innocent. Because, I mean, as per all these games go, I'm always defending someone that's innocent. It's never someone that's guilty. I hope. So this will make things easier. But for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!